Hey guys, Prepper Nurse 1 here. I wanted to talk to you today about something I think is kind of really important. So I got the fire going here, as you can see, and it's got a nice little burn in there going. I'm using more of the maple now. I wanted to mix and match, and like I said, the maple burns a lot slower, but it's a lot hotter. So it's a good wood to burn, but you want to mix it up with the other wood because it's a slower burning wood. So we get things really rocking with the ash, and then we get a good bed of coals. Then we throw the maple on there, and then we get a nice long burn with the maple. I mean, when I say long burn, like 3 pieces, you're looking at 6-7 hours with the maple, and you'll still have a really nice bed of coals after 6 or 7 hours. So it's really, really nice. Okay, so getting back to the topic on hand, using your prepper skills, your practical skills that you've learned, and keeping in practice. I have a ton of books, and books are awesome, great for knowledge and stuff like that, but unless you utilize those skills and practice those skills in a crisis situation, you're really not going to be up to snuff, if you will. Okay, it's like being in the military and you shoot every day, not every day, but you shoot quite often, and you have to requalify with the rifle. I think it's every 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, so you're getting a chance to get out there and you're shooting. Okay, well, you can have a gun in your house, a shotgun or a rifle or whatever you have, 22, whatnot, but unless you get out there and use it and practice, you're going to lose that skill set. So if you haven't picked up your gun in, say, 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden you need to pick up your gun and use your gun, how accurate do you think you're going to be? You're going to be rusty. It's going to take some time to, get that rust off to get your skill set back. So that's just one example. Like with being able to make a fire, it sounds like a very simple thing, but unless you practice it and know exactly what you're doing, it's really not. I mean, it's there's definitely several different ways to start a fire. I did a video on how to start a fire, what I think is a proper way. I like the way I start a fire because it always starts. I can also get a fire going from just a couple of hot coals. I do that. I do it for fun. I'll get it down to just a couple of hot coals in the fireplace, and then I'll work on getting a fire going from that. And that's like a little game that I play with myself. But being able to do that and knowing what to do and how to do it, those are important skills to have. And if you don't have those skills, it could be the difference of life and death. So, especially in an emergency situation, and like I say again, another example is, knowing how to tie knots. There's all kinds of different knots to know how to tie, but unless you know how to do the proper knots and practice those, you're not going to have that skill set. It's with anything. If you've learned something, put it into practice. Do test. Another good example is, getting out there and hiking for a mile. And if you went out there and hiked for a mile, say, once a week, this is a good example. Number one, you're going to be healthier. Number two, you're not going to be as winded if you haven't picked up that pack and put that pack on and then gone for a nice 10-mile march. You're going to be dead. You're going to be sore. You're going to be hurting. You're going to have other injuries to go along with that. But if you get out there at least once a week and go for that mile, hike with your pack on or whatnot, you're not going to be as sore and hurting when that time comes. And that leads to another thing that I actually need to do myself, and I've actually kind of getting myself in the mindset of, and I've been changing my habits lately other than that trip to McDonald's, is eating better, losing weight, being in better shape. I am right now at 214 pounds. It's too heavy. I'm definitely too heavy. So ideally, I would like to be at about 185. 185 is a really good weight for me, but that's 29 pounds. So let's think about that for a second. Pick up something that's 29 pounds and carry that around all day and see how that feels. You're going to be tired after all that. So, carrying that extra weight on you is definitely not healthy. I know we're in a culture now where everybody is, oh, it's okay to be fat. and it's okay to, you know, look at this and I'm not ashamed of being heavy. Well, that's crap, okay? Because it is very unhealthy. Most of those people that are, and I'm going to use the extreme example of somebody that's 100 plus pounds overweight. Most of those people are going to be diabetic, and it's because they're too heavy. And they could stop being diabetic if they just lost the weight. And, you know, like I said, I'm not, you know, sitting here at 160 pounds saying this. I'm sitting here at 214 saying it. So, I mean, I need to do something about it myself, and I'm definitely planning on doing that. So, you know, being healthier, being in better physical shape, having skills, and learning new skills, and then putting those skills into practice. Learning something, how to do something once, is all well and good. But knowing how to do it is even better. All right, I'm lucky in the aspect. I'm going to give you another example of something too. I mean, if you have a bug out location, and you know, having different routes to that bug out location, if you had to bug out and you needed to go different ways, that's really important to do. Now, I'm lucky in the aspect of if I go someplace once and I take a certain route, I will never have to remember street names, nothing. I know how to get there. It's uncanny. I mean, if I go someplace once, I could get back there, you know, without the directions the second time. I'll probably remember a street name or whatever, but I'll know that, okay, yeah, I'm going to get up to this street here, and I got to turn left, and I get up to this here spot, and I got to turn right. It's weird. I don't know how. I'm very lucky in that aspect, okay? But again, it's something else to practice. It's something to, you know, have different routes on how to get to your retreat. Be able to get there without MapQuest, without having, you know, even without having a map. Knowing how to get someplace is very, very important. You know, like I said, and again, it's just, you know, like with canning, you know, learning how to can. Do it, practice it. You get it down, and then it's second nature. It's like no big deal after that. Those are important things to know what to do, and you know, so those are just, you know, just some ideas and some examples. But you know, like I said, just even like fire is like the biggest thing. If you can't make a fire, you can't keep yourself warm. You can't dry out your clothes. You can't, you know, boil water. You know, those are huge, huge things. So it's very important to know how to do these different things so that you can put them into practice whenever that necessary emergency comes up. And it doesn't have to be a you know, an SHTF situation, okay? It doesn't have to be that. It can just be a regular, natural emergency that we have in this country, and knowing how to survive it, you know, and to do what you need to do to survive until help comes, or maybe help's not going to come. You don't know. I mean, but to know what you need to do is going to give you an advantage over everybody else. And that's basically really what we all should be looking for, is that advantage. The advantage is key. You know, and, you know, if you can practice your skills, that's great, you know. Growing a garden. I mean, we did an experiment last year, or this year, I should say, and it was a total failure. So I think combination of trying to grow in the buckets and also the weather played a factor in it, you know, but you live and you learn. So I'm going to definitely do something different this year coming up. And again, but the thing is, I'm lucky in the aspect that it wasn't a life or death situation that I had to do that at that point. I can experiment now, and it's okay, because if it fails, it's not going to cost me or my children their lives, okay? So learning what works and what doesn't work is very, very important. It's just like with the solar system. Learning what works and doesn't work and finding out what you need to do, that's very important. You know, get the bugs worked out now. And of course now my phone is ringing, but that's going to have to wait. You know, it's probably Mom anyway. But anyway, like I said, having those skill sets ahead of time is, like I said, it's very, very important. And learning what works, what doesn't work. And I'm going to give you a great, great example, okay? You know, we didn't have running water for a long time. So we continued to go down to Grandma's to shower. Well, now that we have running water, I still haven't finished off the bathroom yet because it's just convenient to go down to Grandma's and shower. Now I'm going to, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to get the bathroom squared away because it's a pain in the butt going to town to take that shower, you know, in the cold weather. In the warm weather, we can just take a shower here. It's not a big deal. You know, we could actually take a shower here now if we had to, but you know, like I said, it's right now. It's just the convenience of it. And but anyway, so you know, so it's not a priority, so it doesn't get done. So that's like, some people had asked me, why didn't I just attach to the grid and then until I got the solar squared away as much as I wanted to? Well, the main reason was because of the fact that, you know, I needed to learn what worked and what didn't work. And so now I was forced to learn what worked and what didn't work because that's how we get our power. And then I had to laugh at this. Somebody had made a comment, which I deleted their comment because they're one of my haters anyway, but they were saying, you know, well, you're not a real off-gridder because you have a generator. Well, you know what? If you go up into Alaska, and any of those people that really live in the bush, way out in the bush, they all have generators because it's just a smart thing to do. My ultimate goal is to weed out the generator, and I've said that from day one, but it's awful nice to have that as a backup if you need it. Okay? So anyway, guys, so I'm just giving you some good examples here. Tell me what your thoughts are. Please like, comment, share. Practical skills, learning them, putting them into practice. Very, very important. Tell me what you think. Throw out some other ideas that you can think of that you want. You know what I mean? It'd be really, really good. I'd like to hear it. Like I said, I love the feedback. I love the interaction. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember, hug and kiss the ones you love because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And, you know, at least they could say, hey, you know what? I got that last hug, that last kiss if something did happen. And also, the only one in life that's going to hold you back is you, nobody else. That's very important as well, because you can't blame it on anybody else. It's your own fault if you don't succeed in whatever you're trying to pursue. And remember, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and it's one day at a time. And you will reach those goals if you have the mindset, okay? I hope everybody has a great day. Today is Thursday, what is today, Heather? The 29th of December. We're 2 days away from the end of the year. Unbelievable. And it'll be 2017. All right, guys. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.